Gonna be live in 3, 2, 1. Did you know that aliens are coming from out of town? 375 plus 12 equals, what's that, 87.
46, 47, 48.
You and old dude should do a song together. Y'all just do that.
So he did a song with Wiz Khalifa. I hope Wiz Khalifa paid him. Everyone go look up that song. I don't know the name of it, so I'm not very helpful.
And I don't know his name. I forgot his name. I just know him.
He didn't put featuring him though.
Oh,
he just sampled him.
Okay, well maybe, hopefully.
I hope he got paid.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome to episode 7.
Man, we did 7 of these things?
Yes, we're currently on number 7, almost to 10.
Dang, bro.
You know, welcome to episode 7 of the Not All Here podcast. It's your boy Easy L.
I am Jettison Bombardier, aka JRB the producer, aka John,
aka no other nickname.
Bro, we keeping it simple, bro.
Okay.
Until I come up with some other cool stuff.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
I ran out of all the cool shit, bro.
Gotcha. Okay, but anyway, welcome to another episode here, Not All Here podcast. We hope that you guys had a great weekend, and we hope that the rest of the week is gonna be smooth for y'all. You know, it's getting close to Christmas, so
yeah.
You know, hopefully you got your shopping in and you got everything, and you know you got everything in order. Unlike me, sometimes I'll be having shit out of order.
Hey yo, off topic. Well, how did Black Friday go? Was it packed? I didn't even watch the news. Did people go out and shop?
Man, I think people did go out and shop, but like I really
wasn't regular.
It wasn't like how it usually is, where people were like running over each other.
Right.
There were some people who were like camping out for stuff, but it wasn't like crazy.
Did you buy anything?
No, I didn't buy anything. No. I'm sorry. I take that back. I did. I bought some drum kits. So, online,
okay.
Producer stuff.
Producer nerd stuff.
Exactly. I was like, I got to get these Beat Butcher drum kits.
Oh my God, these drums.
Boop, boop, boop. All right. But yeah. So hopefully y'all got everything in order. Man, today's podcast is really interesting. I actually want JRB Jetty to kick off the first topic because I know you saw this yesterday. I saw it too, but I didn't see like all the things you saw probably, but I want you to go ahead and kick it off.
Okay, so for people that don't know me, I love aliens. I love sci-fi. I'm a nerd for space stuff. So the New York Post, maybe this isn't the most reputable article, but when I saw it, I was amazed and I was like, oh my God, it's finally happening. New York Post, aliens in hiding until mankind is ready, says ex-Israeli spacehead. It's an amazing article. Like, some guy in a big position. He's basically said the aliens are here. So, space aliens have reached an agreement with the U.S. government to stay mum on the experiments they conduct on Earth, as well as their secret base on Mars. Starts to sound a little less reputable already. Until mankind is ready to accept them, the former head of Israeli space program claimed in a new interview. The aliens have asked not to announce that they are here because humanity is not ready yet. That sounds believable.
Sounds, yeah.
Haim Eshed, I may be saying his wrong. Haim Eshed told Israeli paper Yedoeth Aharonoth. Yep, all that stuff. Trump was on the verge of revealing the aliens' existence, but the aliens in the Galactic Federation are saying, wait, let people calm down first. Sounds a little bit less reputable the further we go on.
Sounds like a movie.
Eshed, who helmed Israel's space security program from 1981 to 2010, reportedly said they don't want to start mass hysteria. They want to first make us sane and understanding. So aliens basically have an agreement with us. Let me look and see if there's any more interesting details. I screenshotted on this.
They're basically just chilling, waiting.
There's an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They too are researching and trying to understand the whole fabric of the universe, and they want us as helpers.
Or they want us as guinea pigs, and they want
they want to probe us.
They want to exactly. They want to probe us.
I just thought this was interesting. It's kind of the same thing, but not really. Former President Barack Obama recently refused an interview with late show funny man Stephen Colbert to confirm or deny the existence of extraterrestrial life based on top secret U.S. records. A move Colbert jokingly took as a tacit, is that tacit or tactic?
Tactic?
Tacit? T-A-C-I-T. Tacit confirmation.
Tacit, yeah.
The truth is out there, but former President Barack Obama's lips are sealed.
Obama knew. He was like, hey, I'm about to reveal this, bro. That's crazy. Like, because I know you were telling me, too, that Joe Rogan had shared that article or something to it. Because my whole thing is, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before.
Aliens.
And aliens, about whether or not they exist and if we're alone. And the way that my brain works, a lot of people have also probably thought about this, and they have their own like little their own opinion on whether or not they exist. Me, I personally think there's something out there, whether it's, what we consider aliens or it's actually, would be real twisted and crazy was like, what if there were other people who are out there? But it's just like,
you mean humans?
Yeah, what looks like to us, we consider like humans, but they're actually from different planets and stuff. And maybe we're all like this big old thing. But some people believe there's like aliens that, that people see in the movies out there.
So I'm like Mulder from X-Files. You mess with X-Files?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I want to believe.
You want to believe.
I want to believe, but the inner me is a skeptic. The inner me is like Scully. It's like, yo, that shit isn't real.
This
like,
is
stop
all fake.
believing it.
Stop it.
But I do believe in aliens because the sheer number of, when you look at the universe in terms of numbers and size, it's just insane. There's more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth.
Yeah, that's wild.
So then when you go to the beach and reach down and pick up a handful of sand, just think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about the number of sand grains on Earth. There's more stars.
Yeah.
So, and we're just one planet around one star.
We're just a little marble.
Really what I think it is, it's probably super incredibly hard for life to reach an intelligent phase, because think about if the dinosaurs never got wiped out by asteroid.
Yeah.
And then before that, there was like 4 or 5 other mass extinctions. So whatever those animals were, they just would have just kept growing, but they might not have become us. Like there's some strange stuff that led to it becoming us.
Yeah, that's so crazy, because it was funny because the other day I was talking to my girl about this. Like I'll be on Reddit sometimes, and every now and then I follow a subreddit. I think it's like I took a picture of, and then they explain what they took a picture of.
Okay.
Somebody did, I think it was either 24 or 48 hour exposure of the sky.
Yeah.
And like it's a very detailed picture of what it looks like up there. And then he's like, yeah, I caught some galaxies in this thing. And it's like, bro, you can see that shit, and you're just like, yo, what the fuck?
It's amazing.
And it gives you like perspective on sort of like your place a little bit. You kind of like, oh shit, like this is a humongous universe. And then another thing I think that also messes with my head when it comes to like space and everything, they always talk about, I think it was on Joe Rogan, he was interviewing some scientist or astronomer or something like that. He was, they were talking about space and how infinite it is, and he was like, yeah, every year we're spinning. And where we were, I think some to the effect of where we once were, we're not there anymore because we're spinning away from this thing. So like this one light that we saw this one year, eventually we're getting so far away from it that it's just like we're never going to see it again.
Right.
And you're just like, holy shit. Like your brain is just like, what the fuck?
I mean, I do believe in aliens, but I don't believe they're here on Earth.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think they're
because they're on Jupiter. That's where they're at. I believe that there's something, aliens, or there's some other creatures, beings, or whatever out there. But like, do you think like in our lifetime, do you think we'll ever see something like that?
No, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we've only had technology to actually listen for like maybe less than the last 100 years.
Yeah, hasn't been long.
No, I mean they just started. What's it? The giant listening. I forgot the name of the thing.
I know what you're talking about. That sends out information or just listens to audio.
Just the discs that listen. But they just started that like not too long ago. And Earth's been here for what, billions of years?
Yeah.
There was probably like aliens like 100 years ago sending us.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if that's
sending
true.
us the Galactic Bible or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is actually what created the universe.
That's
and
so
we
crazy.
just didn't have our telescopes.
We just didn't know how to decipher it or anything like that. That's crazy because like I feel like we're also kind of like, even though the Earth's been here for billions of years, technology and civilization has only been here for like, in the grand scheme of things, not that long. And like I feel like I don't think I'll see an alien in my lifetime. Now, Do I want to be proven wrong? If it's a peaceful one, yeah, sure. But if it's like, nah, bro, we about to take over this place. But I mean, I don't know. It's just like kind of crazy. It's the same thing. I was going to ask you too about this. We talked about this a little bit before, where the way that technology is. What do you think in 50 years the world's going to look like?
I don't know, man. I think about that sometimes because, okay, we're in 2020 right now.
Yeah.
Think back to the 1920s. Like, imagine showing someone from the 1920s a cell phone.
Bro, they'd be like, holy shit.
They'd be like, what the hell is that?
They'd combust. They'd be
news was traveling on pieces of paper printed out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think. So 100 years from now, or you said 50?
50, I said 50. Now, 100 might be a dramatic change.
I would love to see what it's like 100 years from now.
Now, let me ask you this. So,
I have no idea.
What if there comes a time within our lifetime where they're like, hey, Elon is like, yo,
I'm signing up for it. Before you even stop, I'm signing up for it.
It's like Elon is like, I can add 500 years to your life.
Fuck it, man. I want to see what's going to happen. Hell yeah. Would you do it?
Man, I'm not going to lie. I'd be tempted, but that's a long ass time. But I would be tempted because I think my brain would be like, but you know, you want to see what it's going to look like. And then, but like after a while, it's kind of like, you know, are you going to get tired? You can be like, man, just unplug me.
Just go jump off a building.
But yeah, I think that's one thing that I'll be thinking about. I'm like, man, you know, because like you said, people in the 1920s, if you showed them a phone, they'd probably like be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
They're like, you're a witch.
Yep. And you get burned. And
you get shot up or burned or something. That's crazy. But it's interesting. So I don't know if y'all believe in aliens out there, but I know I do. JRB does. So
you like the movie Contact?
Bro, that's the one with Jodie Foster? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
I remember it was like, wasn't the beginning of the movie, spoiler, it's not a spoiler, but isn't they're trying to do the shuttle takeoff and there's like that one crazy dude?
No, that's not the beginning.
That's not the beginning?
Mm-mm.
That's
in the middle
movie.
near the end.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the guy that sabotages it. Yeah, okay. That's not the beginning.
Because I remember, like her pops passes away.
Well, see, they show him in different places throughout the movie in like little teeny clips.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's like a radical, crazy preacher.
Oh, gotcha.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, it's a super old movie.
It's like a 50, 40-year-old movie. No, not really.
It's not that old. It came out in the 90s.
All right, it's like 25 years old. Damn. 25.
But, yeah, he's a radical preacher, and
he's like, we shouldn't be doing this.
So at little events, he'll pop up, you know, yelling his sermon out and looking at Jodie Foster with a mean face.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. I remember that because I remember for some reason whenever I used to think that the movie Contact. Have you ever seen this movie? I forgot the name of it. There were aliens where like their knees were inverted, so they ran away looking funny.
You're not talking about the one that's set in Africa.
It might be.
A District 8, District 9?
No, not District 9. No. That's like the bug one. It's another one. I had to look it up. It's actually a movie I think that had Charlie Sheen in it, and it was about aliens. And like there was this one where
Mars Attacks?
No, not Mars Attacks. That's what they go. I
love that movie.
That movie is funny.
That movie was awesome.
But no, it was another movie where like there were aliens that could look like humans. But then if you knew that one of them was alien, they could be like revert, and instead of standing straight, they would kneel down and their knees would invert in, and they ran away backwards. It was really weird.
Alien.
Nope.
Predator.
Predator. No, but can you imagine if there was a predator, bro? Boy, we about to get hunted.
Part of me,
you want a predator here?
Yeah, part of me that likes to watch the world burn.
Oh my god!
Just wants for some wild shit to happen.
Like 20 predators just come to the planet,
and the entire country and planet just comes together to fight against alien kind.
And then we got to be like, we know one person who knows how to kill these things. Arnold, can you? He's like, that was a movie. That's hilarious. Go on.
What do you think of all the ancient alien stuff? You think it's BS? You ever watch that show?
Like, that's the dude with the hair, and he's like, aliens. Like,
dude, some of it sounds so retarded and so wild, but every now and then I'll see a clip and I'll just be like, oh,
like,
wow.
What's one thing? Like, cause I never really saw the show.
I don't know. My memory's too bad. But just how, people like 2,000 years ago or 3,000 years ago, supposedly they could make a stone so precise and so smooth, smoother than current technology can do it. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, damn, how did they do that shit?
They attribute that to aliens.
And supposedly, aliens came down and taught them.
Pyramids and all this other stuff. Man, I don't know. I feel like that, I mean, now, I'll tell you, I don't think all of it is. I could maybe see something being visited, but they just don't know. I feel like people were actually a lot smarter. Not a lot smarter, but they actually they knew how to use what they had.
You know, there's like Renaissance paintings and like famous paintings from long ago that had like UFOs in it.
For real?
UFOs isn't like a current new thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look it up. You can find paintings with like stuff in the sky.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's why I did not. I was never taught that. I did not know.
I mean, you only get that when you watch those goofy
Yeah, you watch
ancient
stuff
alien
like that.
shows. But then you're like, whoa, there was a UFO in this painting.
Oh my God, it's
Some
right
guy
here.
painted in the 1700s.
Wait a second. There's a UFO in this Last Supper painting. No. But no, that's crazy. I never knew that. That's now. Have you seen some of the pictures like of the UFOs in the paintings?
Yeah.
Do they look like what we think UFOs look like?
Looks like a flying saucer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a Photoshop, bro.
Or it's just meteors, or it's just some weird weather condition, and they just
gotcha.
and it's still fooling people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years later.
I could see that. So going from aliens.
You don't want to talk about aliens the whole show?
No. Because after a while, what if they're listening? They're like, oh man, we're getting talked
That's
about.
why we get crackles in the microphone sometimes.
Exactly. They're like, hey,
yeah.
stop talking about us. Going from aliens on this whole government matter. I know. I'm pretty sure it's on Twitter. It's on like news sites. They talked about how they approved this emergency distribution of this vaccine.
Yeah.
And it's like right now the only people that are going to get it, of course, are like the people on the front lines, like nurses, doctors, and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk to you if you've seen. I think we talked about this a little bit where. Some people are saying that it gives people, what is it called? Bell's palsy?
So there are 4 people that got Bell's palsy from this. Now, I read a little article on this. I'm not an expert, so if I'm stupid and wrong, don't.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. But anyway, they said that this, them getting Bell's palsy was actually the regular percentage of humans that get it regardless of the vaccine. They said according to the number of people that were tested, they would expect for people to get Bell's palsy just from being humans.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's spin that they're putting on it to make people think, oh, it's really safe.
Yeah.
They had a placebo group and then a group that got the vaccine.
Okay.
You know, they always do that when they do these tests. No one in the placebo group got Bell's palsy. 4 people in the group that
got the vaccine
got Bell's palsy. And in case y'all don't know, Bell's palsy, it makes half of your face droop. It kind of looks like a stroke if you've seen someone that has like a stroke and half of their face kind of doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I guess it's different. I didn't really... And I may be wrong on this too. I just kind of skimmed the article. Some people, it only happened for like a day or 2 and then it's gone.
You know,
I don't know if it's a permanent thing.
I've heard actually on another podcast that I listened to. Oh,
it's the aliens listening.
Yep. On another podcast that I listened to, people, like you were saying, just normally get it from time to time.
Yeah.
And like there was, if you watch football, this guy, Tony Gonzalez, if you remember him, he's back in the day, he was not a tight end. What is it? Was it? No, it wasn't tight end. What? He played on offense.
He played for the Chiefs.
Yeah, he played for the Chiefs. They were saying that he actually had Bell's palsy.
Oh, really?
For a little bit, but he like kept it. So he was like, "Oh, I got to get this fixed." The reason why was because he had to change his diet, and like his body, his body was messing up, and so he changed his diet, and like for like a few days, his face, like half of his face wouldn't move, and he was like, "Yo, this is crazy." And then he switched up his diet, and then slowly but surely he got movement back in his face.
Not even a joke. I heard it was related to herpes in certain cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn. Right.
I don't know if all of it, but I think it can come from that. Maybe not everyone that gets it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing with the whole vaccine talk I was thinking about?
What's that?
Okay, with them putting out that information, you get pictures of people with their face drooping. It makes no one want to take the vaccine. But I feel like as Americans, we're so mistrusting or distrusting? We don't trust the government.
Of course.
But that's going to fuck us up because we've been the country that's been hit the hardest because there's people that say, oh, I ain't wearing no damn mask.
Of course.
I don't need no mask. You ain't going to step on my freedom. Is the same thing going to happen with the vaccine? No one's going to want to take it.
Yeah.
We're going to be in a whole nother lockdown for another 1-2 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like I know a way to get past all this. This is what you do. Because I've heard other people talk about it, but I doubt it's going to happen.
What?
I think that they should incentivize people on taking the vaccine.
You only get your stimulus if you take the vaccine? That's kind of fucked up.
No. What if they do it like this? They're like, hey, we'll throw another 1,000 on top of what you're getting. But that won't happen. But I've heard some people say like they were saying that that's a way to incentivize. And then who was it? I don't know if this is true or not, but even Barack was like, I'll take it, like on live TV. Barack Obama. He was like, I'll take it on live TV so that way everybody can see. But then, of course, you're going to get people who are going to be like, how do we know that's the vaccine?
Right.
Like, and all this conspiracy talk. I would take the vaccine, but now here's my my little clause in there. I'd wait for like the second or third,
right?
Like, batches or whatever, because you got to get them first ones out the way. But I would take it. I'd recommend, just because, like, it's crazy. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, man, we've been in this thing. It'll be in March that it'll be a year.
Dang.
Like, but Atlanta's, it's been open. Nobody cares.
I think this shows you America's really the freest country in the world. And maybe that's not always a good thing.
And I knew you were about to say that, because I'm like, man, that sounds like a good and a bad thing. Because it's like, well, we're kind of like people who we just don't like being told what to do.
Have you seen the videos? I don't know if it's India or Bangladesh or I forget where, but there were people on the streets and the police officers would drive by on a scooter.
And they were hitting them with sticks.
Hitting them with sticks. Imagine if they did that in America.
Bro, that'd be wild. Like, I feel like that's so crazy. But I know what you're talking about, because they weren't wearing masks. Mm-hmm. And then they'd be like, come here. Like, it's like your parent when you're young or something.
Yep.
They're like, get back here.
They were literally smacking them on the butt with sticks.
That's so funny. Man, that could never happen here, because just of like, people like, this is my rights and all this stuff. I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. But would you take the vaccine?
Yes, eventually.
Eventually.
I don't want the Bell's palsy version.
Gotcha.
I want the Barack Obama version.
The Barack Obama version.
Give me what they gave him.
I gotcha. That makes sense. I wish, though, I do hope that we get to a point where everybody just takes it, or what ends up happening is that I guess a lot of people take it to where, because some people are like, what is it called when they don't feel the effects of the coronavirus? It's
is it asymptomatic?
Yeah, they're asymptomatic. So they're like, well, it doesn't affect me. I hope we get to a point where it just dies out, because after a while, man, you're just like, boy, is this our life?
America's getting cut off from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to travel a lot of places.
Yeah.
And a lot of other places are opening back up.
Yeah.
So
I saw that like in China,
in Wuhan, where
it started.
Yeah. They're more free than it's free over here because people don't wear a mask if they don't want to, but
they're already like back to
regular.
Ooh, excuse me, exactly.
Go back to the market and eat a bat if you want it. Did you see that video? The most awful video on Facebook.
Which
one? The Wuhan fresh market or whatever market, wet market.
Oh boy, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's nasty.
Dogs dead, cats dead.
It's like a breeding ground for disease.
I think that was a little bit of misinformation.
Yeah.
People were sharing that on Facebook saying this is where the virus came from. But that video was just terrible. If you're an animal lover, that
it's a bad thing to look at. Don't go look it up. Please.
Nah, don't.
But I was gonna say, hold on, what was I about to say? I was gonna say that I saw the video of like, because I can't remember how many million vaccines they were shipping out, but I saw the 2 trucks that were delivering it, and I was like, I wonder if they have security like with that truck.
Probably,
because people are gonna be like, we need to stop this. There's gonna be people who are gonna be like, we gotta blow up these trucks with these vaccines. Can you imagine? I feel like there's some people who are crazy enough to do that, but
okay,
it'll happen.
Staying on this topic, can I transition into this little news thing I got real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Mullins, South Carolina. Yeah. There's a store that will not let people in if you're wearing a mask. There's a sign on the door that's the opposite of most signs you might see other places.
That's wild.
If you walk in there with a mask, they'll either tell you to take the mask off or ask you to leave, which is crazy.
That's really wild, man, that there's a place like that. So is it like, you said, what's the name of the place?
I forgot the name of it.
Is it like a restaurant?
No, it's like an antique store.
Oh.
And the owner is just, anti-mask.
Anti-mask. That's wild, man.
He's like, you come in here, you need to taste my breath.
You need to taste my Corona.
Sneeze on me.
Yo, that's crazy. That I'm pretty sure, and it's probably like a few other places like that out there in some rural areas.
Yeah, places
that you might not want to be.
Places they got electricity later than everywhere else in America.
That's so wild, man. That there's
Get it
stuff
together,
like that.
Mullins, South Carolina. Get it together.
Lord.
Boycott that store. Don't go in that store.
Yeah, don't go in there. Let them collect some dust like antiques. So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Okay, so I'll just keep going with news since the news is kind of all over the place. We started with the aliens. That was going to be in my news, but
Oh.
my news has gotten hijacked this episode. Okay. So we have some Christmas-related news. Saint Nick and Elf tackle suspected thieves in Riverside, California.
Hey,
Good
Santa.
job. Good job, Santa.
Santa's. Hey, watch out. Santa's part of the police.
You're a genius. An undercover Santa
Wow.
and an elf took down suspected thieves in a wild event Friday. Santa tackled a suspect while an elf held another man at gunpoint.
Whoa.
Detective Paul Miranda was one of several Riverside police officers working undercover Thursday at Target in the Canyon Springs shopping center. We worked inside the store, identified shoplifters, and when they split the scene, Santa was there to take them into custody, Detective Miranda said. Santa is a detective and his trusty sidekick elfin officer both jumped into action when Miranda spotted a car being stolen from the parking lot as two other men ran from the scene.
Wow. Santa was like, ho, ho, ho.
Cops undercover as Santa. How wild is that? There are some kids that took pictures with Santa that day. It was just a police officer. It was just an undercover cop.
And they're like, wait a second, you're not Santa. Hold on. You lied to me. We're Santa. That's hilarious. But it makes sense because they're kind of like hiding in plain sight. You know?
How crazy is that?
That's wild, right? That's
Okay.
super wild.
Moving on. Last piece of news, not a whole lot of news today. We already covered all my news. Woman dies after dropping iPhone in bath while it was charging.
Yo, I saw that. So I'm assuming, did she was it wasn't the phone, it was that charger, right? Or
Well, it was plugged into the wall outlet.
oh, okay. So it was connected and it went through. And it
So
shocked her.
people, you don't need that much entertainment.
I know,
When you're in the bath, just take a bath.
bro.
Just leave, put your phone aside, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Or get yourself like a what is it, like an Alexa or something, and then if you want to play music or a podcast, just shout it. So that
Just sit in there and just listen
Just
to
wash
the
yourself.
water. Just deconnect.
second, be careful with baths because you're sitting in your nastiness.
I enjoy that. I love a good bath.
But
Nothing feels as good as a bath.
man, I haven't had a bath in probably, let's see, I'm 31 right now. I probably haven't had a bath since I was like 10.
I'm kind of weird. I start out as a shower and then it transitions into a bath.
That's weird.
So
That's weird.
I'll stand up, right?
Okay, wait, that actually might make sense. You clean yourself first.
I do.
Okay, and then after a while, you're done clean.
And then eventually I lay down. right? Because I'm like, oh, I've been standing up long enough. And then I turn off. Sometimes I'll let the shower hit me, but then I'll just turn it off and just get the the bath.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the news. Not a whole lot of news. The aliens are here.
I would say, actually, I have something to add to the news.
Oh!
A little something special. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see, I think it was in India, an iPhone factory got tore down.
Why?
All the workers were like destroying the whole factory because they were not, supposedly they said they weren't getting paid.
Ooh.
Or it was like, it was unequal wages.
Ooh.
And there's like footage of it, bro. There's cars turned over, like they're destroying like all these cameras and stuff. But there's like, yeah, there's cars turned over. There's like, usually in like, I guess, just any type of corporate building, there's like cameras that are hanging from the ceiling. Man, they were like pulling them down. They were just destroying everything, and they were destroying a bunch of like products and stuff because they were like, we haven't been paid and we're just here working. And I was just like, damn, man, that's like super wild.
Dang.
But yeah, there's video footage everywhere, and you'll see like 4 or 5 cars that are flipped over.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's like super wild. And I was like, yeah, man, do that shit. Do that. I was like, man, I wish I could flip a car over.
Yeah.
But
That's better than the iPhone factories in China. Have you heard those stories?
oh my God, I know one that's like wild that they actually put this in the building.
You talking about the nets?
Yeah.
They have nets around the
Bruh.
building.
If y'all don't know, I don't know if this is still a thing. It probably is. But so like in speaking on iPhones, this is gonna be the last little news story. It's a little sad. So one thing that they do over there is like sometimes people who are like so, I guess, depressed or like so just like they want to quit but they can't because it's like forced labor, some type of thing like that. What they'll try to do is take their lives and they jump from like a high, like a high floor in the building.
Jump off the
building.
Roof of the iPhone factory.
Yeah, roof of the iPhone factory. But the people who actually like work there or like who own it, they got like, I guess, wise to it, and they started including these nets that catches them so they can't die. And I'm like, yo, that's so sick. Like, that's so like not in a good way. That's like bad. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. But like I've heard that. So,
if you still jump off the building and there's a net there, do you want to die or?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, if there's a net there, or do you just want to have a fun? Like, what are you trying to say?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it stops people from jumping. I was just thinking, what if some guy just still jumps? He's like, fuck it,
man, I'm having fun, and he gets an adrenaline rush from it. That's so funny. That's so wild because it's so crazy that they do stuff like that over there, And then speaking of. Actually, I have one more thing to add to news.
Oh, there's a lot of news today.
I know, it's a lot of news. I'm filling in where I actually took his first news story. You saw what's happening in France right now. So a lot of people are rioting. I think they're still rioting because they passed a law that restricted people from being able to take photos or record video of policemen.
Oh.
And people were up in arms and were like, this all happened because of course, like how it always happens, somebody, I think it was a black guy was like killed or something by police or something like that. And it sparked like outrage. I could be wrong. So excuse me if I'm wrong. But the government there passed a law that were like, you can't record or take pictures of police officers at all. And so people got up in arms and now there's riots in the streets and they're like, yo, what the hell? Because then it starts to feel like a dictatorship. And they're like, what you mean we can't record? Like, then it's like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, bro, can you imagine if shit like that happened here?
Well, sometimes police will try to stop people from recording.
They will.
I think when, was it Eric Gardner was killed, there was a kid recording the incident and he got locked up. He was in prison for maybe like a year and a half, 2 or 3 years.
Wild.
For recording it. I forget what the charge was. It might have been like, interfering with a police matter or some
and then he was just recording
like
video.
Yeah, he was recording it. Yeah.
That's so sick, man. That's wild.
Yep. Was he the one selling cigarettes? Was it Eric Gardner?
I think he was.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Man, it's sad to say there's so many names.
Yeah.
But something like that. He was just selling them like one-offs. Like he was like, hey, you want one for $3?
I think it was that incident. So the guy that filmed that was in prison was in jail for a while.
Damn.
Because of that. Yep.
Damn, that's wild that they'll do some foul shit like that. Ooh, crazy. Well, moving on. Sorry.
Well, now let's tell some jokes.
Now hey, everybody, you ever see the one about the mac and cheese? No, okay, so going from that topic, I want to just sprinkle in some like random little things that like I ran across like on the internet, like news and stuff like that. And I think one of these, I think you'll probably be able to fill me in a little bit more just because I don't know too much about it. But the first thing was, I know the previous episode we talked about Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. You know, there's a bad look for Nate, but whatever, shit happens. But now, because it was Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., now it's been confirmed in February. It's actually near my birthday, and I was like, oh shit, maybe turn up for the birthday. But Floyd Mayweather is gonna fight Jake Paul, right?
It's not Jake Paul.
Is it his brother?
It's his brother. I think his name's Logan Paul. I think he's a little bigger than Jake. Good luck to him, man. I don't think he's gonna do too well. I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan.
Yeah.
He just comes off as kind of arrogant to me.
Yeah.
And I get people like him. I'm just not really a fan of him.
I feel it.
But it's gonna be interesting to see if dude gets clocked out there.
You know what's gonna happen? I think I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not a big Floyd Mayweather fan. I understand though he is one of the greatest, just because of like his fighting style and like how like he's kind of like a chess player in boxing. He kind of knows how to pick his spots and move and stuff. And I like it's kind of, some people say that's boring because people want to see a knockout.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
But when I heard this, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, the Logan Paul dude. I was like, man, regardless, nobody thinks he's gonna win. No, I don't think anybody thinks he's gonna win.
If he does win,
yeah, boy, Floyd Mayweather's about to get made bro. There's gonna be so many memes. I highly doubt that because I feel like Floyd, because he's like he cares so much about like his boxing history and like his record, I don't think he's gonna let.
Well, this wouldn't even go towards his record.
Oh, it's just like an exhibition.
Yeah.
Exhibition.
It's not. It's like the last fight. It's not an official thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I feel like but still, I feel like he's gonna be like, I don't want to be memed.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if he did lose, but his image would be a little tainted.
There'd be a little there.
Yeah.
But I will say though, I think regardless whether or not, I think one of the few people that's actually winning in this whole thing is actually Logan Paul. Because regardless, he got a match with Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
So like now he's getting like his his clout is like just going up.
Hell yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm about to fight Floyd. And then from here, who knows where he's like, you know what? We're going to do a rematch, you know, of course, if they pay Floyd enough. Or he's going to be like this. What if he goes, I want to fight Manny?
He just wants to get destroyed.
No, exactly. And so but I mean, shit, I know he's making a pretty penny. Because wasn't it, we were talking about this before. I think it's either Logan or Jake. Somebody, it was probably Jake. He got because of the fight, he got paid, and now he has a percentage of the ownership in the whole thing.
I heard that last night. Supposedly, he made $17 million from that fight.
Wow.
Him and Nate both got paid $600,000 up front.
Yeah.
And Jake got a percentage of the buy-in of the Triller sales.
Yeah.
And then supposedly he got a small piece of the company.
Boy.
Yeah.
And then maybe now Logan's like, all right, I want a piece. And he's like, let me get a piece too.
Yep.
And so now they're, you know, from here on out, people are gonna be like, these are gonna be dope fights, but they're like, we're making money on the side, you know, super smart. And then also, so it's gonna be interesting when that comes February. We'll see how it goes. The next thing I wanted to sprinkle in was, did you hear about the whole the case against Shia LaBeouf? FK Twigs suing Shia LaBeouf for.
I saw the headline. I didn't click it or read it. You were telling me about it. I don't honestly know anything about it. So
yeah. So basically, what's happening is FK Twigs is suing Shia LaBeouf for emotional distress, abuse, and like domestic violence and stuff. And so she essentially was saying that, man, supposedly, because I didn't read all the way through. I was just reading sort of like what she was tweeting, but she was talking about how abusive he was in a relationship. She gave him like an STD, or he gave her an STD, all this other stuff. And it was just really wild. There was like one thing I heard that was super crazy, where he was saying supposedly that he had killed an animal to know what it felt like.
What?
Yeah, it was like some wild, like, because he was trying to get into a role. Like, it was like some outlandish, like really wild shit. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is wild. And so
he seems like a weird, wild guy.
I know.
Did you see that the little acting thing they did recently? It was kind of cool. He did well in that. He was like the standout. It was some live screenplay thing.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of famous people in there.
Oh, I know he was reading a script.
Yeah, and he was smoking in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of feel like
he seems like a cool guy, but I have no idea.
Yeah. It's like, it's just really wild. And so that's another crazy thing that's happening. So I'm a big fan of FK Twigs.
So you're team FKA?
Yeah, I love her, man.
Yeah,
She's amazing. So
I don't know anything about her. I've been in the cave. I don't know.
I think I only discovered like her music and anything about her was a while back. There's a song she got called 2 Weeks, and then when I heard it, I was like, yo, this is dope. She's from Europe, I think England or London, somewhere over there, and she does like this alternative R&B kind of vibe. Yeah, she's like a singer. She used to be I think a ballet dancer or something like that. That's why she goes by FK Twigs, because like her bones would always crack a lot.
That's what.
Yeah.
What?
FK. So formerly known as
Twigs. What?
That's because you hear a lot of cracking when she was like stretching and stuff. So
that's funny.
Yeah, and so she's super dope artist. But that's another wild thing that's happened in 2020 is just never ending. Also, I wanted to go to something else too that I think you have a little bit more information on. Is we were supposed to cover this a while back, but we just didn't have time. Teyana Taylor quit music because she's underappreciated.
I don't have any information.
Oh my
on this.
God!
I saw the headline. I saw the article. I just thought it was funny because, you know, and you know, we were talking about this, me, you, and some other people recently, where she has millions of fans. She has millions of monthly listeners right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't get it. I think she's looking for validation in awards and probably social media, and she probably sees people talking about other people more than her,
Oh, okay.
and it makes her upset. I mean,
Yeah.
she's had, a great career. I shouldn't tell someone how to feel, but man, it just seems like, you won. Like, why are you mad that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like she might be looking for some extra validation out there that maybe she doesn't really need,
Yeah.
if you just put your life in perspective,
Maybe
you're winning. Like, you know what I mean?
Grass is the greenest where you water it. Is that what you? Because
I don't know.
I would love to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Be there. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know what she's been through, so I can't really say too much.
I know there was a long time where she didn't put out any music. Maybe she feels she was held back by Star Trek or also Kanye's label, Good Music. But yeah, man.
Yeah, it's interesting, and so because I think I saw like a post she was saying, and I think she was like, well, just because I said I'm tired doesn't mean I'm quitting. So like she still wants to do it, but I think
so she didn't say she was quitting.
I think it was just she was just maybe at first she did, but then she was just like, well, just because I ranted doesn't mean that I'm giving up, type of thing, So I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I feel like as an artist, you kind of have moments where you're like, man, why am I even doing this? You kind of have those sort of like certain moments where maybe certain things happen in your life. They don't go the way that you planned them to, or they don't happen at the time you think that they're supposed to. And you kind of like, man, you have to kind of sit back and be like, am I doing this like for me, or am I doing this for the right reasons?
I mean, I guess famous people are allowed to do that as well.
The way you said that right now, I guess they're allowed.
But come on, man.
I know, but I know where you're coming from of being more appreciative. It's kind of like, half full, half glass, half full, or half empty type of thing. It just depends. Because I mean, I think what is it? I think what she's going through, a lot of independent artists go through on the daily.
Oh yeah, I mean, all of us feel underappreciated.
Of course,
I mean, I appreciate everyone that checks me out, but if I was on a different level.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad,
Yeah, like I said, I think it just depends, because I definitely feel that 100%. Because I'd be like, man, I'm dope as fuck. Like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about myself.
It's probably also an ego thing too.
Probably.
If I became a superstar next week, who knows? I might be complaining about all kind of shit I shouldn't be complaining
He'd
about.
He'd be like, cool ass people. Who's that? No. But okay.
Who knows?
All right. So going from the little sprinkle here and there, we're going to go into a top 5 segment. Top 5 of this, this round is going to be top 5 90s movies.
I came up with this one. I feel like the best movies of all time were all made in the 90s. Maybe because that's when I grew up and I was a kid watching movies.
I mean, I was the same way.
Oh my gosh.
And so I just be forgetting like when these movies be coming. I'm like, this came out in the 90s?
Right.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you start off because I'm still gathering my list.
I'm gonna go with Jurassic Park.
Oh god damn, that's a heater.
Classic.
That's a heater.
I remember watching that in the theater as a kid,
and
it was like the first movie I saw where someone got like ripped apart. Remember when the T-Rex bit the dude who was on the toilet?
Oh my god!
Amazing movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm gonna go with Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, Forrest.
Classic movie, weird movie, jumps all over the place.
Have you ever heard the movie theories of, like, every movie has like what that I know of. There's some people who have like theories on movies of like what it's really about. Like Forrest Gump, supposedly they're like because in the movie, spoiler alert if you don't know, he falls in love with this girl named Jenny, and but she ends up passing away from AIDS, right?
Yeah.
So, spoiler. But supposedly, somebody was like, what if you watch that movie and then you'd be like, wait, Forrest has AIDS? And he gave it to Jenny.
Stop ruining my childhood, bro. Don't do this.
And he knows it. No.
Dude, side story. I was at Cookout and this girl told me, she was like, you look like Tom Hanks.
Oh,
and I'm like, what? Nobody's ever told me that before.
Which one?
She's like, yeah, when he was running across the country.
When he had that big beard and people were following him. That's hilarious.
Like, oh, thanks.
Thanks. I appreciate you telling me I look like a bum. That's good.
Okay. Saving Private Ryan.
Yo, I'm sorry, I've never seen that movie.
The best war movie I've ever seen.
I've seen certain moments like that people are like, this is
It's another Tom Hanks movie. You got to watch that movie.
That's a good
amazing movie. My number one movie of all time, The Truman Show.
Oh, yeah. I know you love that movie. I love
The Truman Show. Dude, after I watched that as a kid, I imagined I was Truman, and then there were like hidden cameras all over the place. So I would do these weird little things in the mirror.
That's so funny. You're like, I know you're watching me.
And then number 5, Contact. I love alien shit. I love aliens. So Contact just...
I think my mom really loves that movie. She's like, I'm like, as a side note for me, I grew up, my mom loved movies. So like we would always have like cable, and she made sure to always have like HBO and, you know, Showtime and all that. And then, but we also, even to this day, my mom has this gigantic collection of DVDs of any and almost every movie, you know, she was so much into it. So your 5 were Contact, The Truman Show, Forrest Gump,
Saving Private Ryan, and Jurassic Park.
Wow, good picks. Okay, so one of the ones that I'm over here looking at, I didn't realize this was in the 90s, but it was late 90s. I'm going to list The Matrix.
Yep.
Matrix, amazing movie. Amazing. I'm not going to lie, it changed my life, and I was like, what if we're in a system?
It's a little confusing.
It is a little confusing. The first one's the best one, by far. But man, like, so Jeremy probably knows this. I know most listeners don't know this. So I went to school for film. And so like, I remember watching that and being like, yo, what the hell is this? It's like, you know, you can do this stuff in movies. And so like, that was one thing where they talked about like, it was a pivoting moment in like film and stuff of, just what you could do, you know, and make stuff look crazy. The next one, hold on, let me see. I saw another one. Oh, I remember that movie. I'm over here looking at the list.
I got 5 runner-ups.
What's your 5 runner-ups?
The Big Lebowski. The Lion King. Friday. Titanic. Dumb and Dumber.
Those are pretty good. Those are really good.
3 more. He Got Game. The Silence of the Lambs. Independence Day.
Damn. What about I'm just looking right here. What about Jingle All the Way? No. You remember that one?
What is that, Tim Allen?
No, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't know if I saw that.
You don't know where he had to get Turbo Man for his kid?
We're talking about the top movies, bro.
Bro, it's a popular movie from the 90s. I'm looking at it right now.
Your favorite 5?
I'm going to say also, until then, I said The Matrix. Next one, because this was, he had earlier movies before, but I really got into him, is Rush Hour. Rush Hour is a really funny movie. Him and Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, bro.
That was funny. It was really funny.
It's better than what is it? What's the other one with, you know, Jackie Chan also did like a buddy with Owen Wilson, like Shanghai Nights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like it that much. It was cool, but Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan were like, you know what? They were supposed to make. Did they make a Rush Hour 3? No, they never did. It just stopped at 2. All right. So the next movie, hold on, I only got 2. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, okay. So my third movie, because I love comedies, I might say both of these. One of them's gonna be Happy Gilmore.
I've never seen that.
Bruh.
I'm missing out.
It's such a good movie. That's like when Adam Sandler was like at the top of his game.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Super funny. It's very like, I'll tell you, it's very slapstick and very like, it's not like deep humor. It's just like it's just funny for the sake of being funny. That's a good one. Another one that I really liked, because I forgot that this dude was like he was like killing it before he passed away, was Beverly Hills Ninja. Do you remember that with, what's his damn name? Chris Farley. It had the dude that had Luke Kang.
Was David Spade in that?
No, he wasn't in that one. Oh. You're thinking of Tommy Boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So there's Beverly Hills Ninja, which is like super, super funny.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it was like, because I know him and David Spade were like best friends. They would do a lot of movies together. And then, what's that? So I said Beverly Hills Ninja, Happy Gilmore, The Matrix, and Rush Hour. I need one more. The last one, Babe, Pig in the... No.
Your top 5 is trash, bro.
No, hold on. Let me figure this out. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's another one, but I just don't remember.
The Mask.
Oh, no, I got it. Fifth Element.
Okay.
Fifth Element. So you got Rush Hour.
That one was definitely cool.
Fifth Element was super
space.
dope. That's because I actually watched Fifth Element before.
Chris Tucker was in that too.
He was,
Yep.
and I remember I was like, "What's going on here?" But what was it? Fifth Element was just so cool because they had like they had that one scene where was it Lilu Bus Pass? Lilu, she put them what I thought the future was gonna be, where you put some pills in the microwave and a whole meal comes out.
That'd be dope.
And she had like a whole chicken. I wish that would already happen, but nonetheless, it's a really great movie. I watched that. That was my introduction to Bruce Willis before Die Hard.
I've never seen any of the Die Hards.
Damn, me either. So
You haven't either? Oh, okay, no. I feel good.
No, I haven't seen any just because I think I just missed it. Like it just wasn't on my radar.
Same.
Yeah. So Rush Hour, Fifth Element. What am I forgetting? I already forgot my 5. Rush Hour, Fifth Element. Beverly Hills Ninja, Happy Gilmore, and The Matrix.
I hate your top 5.
Well, listen, bro. Different strokes for different folks. But that's our top 5. So if you got a top 5, or maybe there's one movie we missed that you feel like we should put on there, drop a comment, man.
Waterworld.
Waterworld. Oh, my mom loves that movie.
Really?
Bro, my mom was like, so like, oh my God, Waterworld. She loved that movie.
What?
Yeah. The concept's pretty cool, but I just didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. All right, everybody. So we're at that moment in the podcast where we're going to talk about our not all here moments. So I can't wait till we have some guests on, and then we can have like other people talk about their not all here moments. But I'm going to start off this week's not all here. I actually was talking to Jay about this the other day. It made me laugh because I guess maybe when you're not familiar with something, it kind of sounds weird to you, right? You know? So let me just put it like that. Let me start off like that. So now, Jay, let me ask you a quick question. You know, whenever you hear New Year's, what do you think of?
I think of the ball dropping. I think of getting drunk. I think of hanging out with friends.
Yep.
And confetti.
Exactly. There you go. Well, let me tell you about a New Year's that was nothing like that.
Jesus?
Hey, you're right on track. Yeah, it's almost like you know.
Did I spoil it? Should we?
No. You're fine. You're fine. So, some 2-3 years ago, I was dating this lovely lady, and was dating her, and she was a little bit more religious than I was. I'm not so deep into it, but she was like, usually on New Year's, you know, I would do what Jay was talking about, you know, go somewhere, hang with friends. This was pre-COVID. Go somewhere, hang with friends, get drunk, have a good time, talk about, wow, this is amazing. And then whatever, you know, pass the night away. But this year she was like, do you want to go to church with me? And like, I've never done that. Like I grew up Catholic, but not super heavy into it. And, you know, even people in Catholic, we're going to church on Christmas, on New Year's and stuff. And she, you know, but because I cared for this girl at the time, I was like, sure. You know, I'll do it because you want to go do it. I'll be supportive.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, like I said, I was Catholic, but I'm not super religious now. And at the time, she was, I want to say, a Christian Baptist, like Baptist into it. So, and I know nothing of these religions or these, what are they called? Denominations.
You ain't heard of Jesus, bro?
Oh, my God. Yeah, but sometimes the story's a little different. But anyway, so we go to Creflo Dollar's church.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know, Creflo Dollar is one of these. He has a huge, humongous church, like humongous, kind of like almost church. like think of like where the Atlanta Hawks play. It's like humongous.
You know they got a music studio in there too.
For real?
I've been there.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You can record in there?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Dude, they got like plaques on the wall. They got like Michael Jackson plaques on the wall.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
But like I said, Creflo Dollar's church, and he's like one of these big, almost like what's the white guy, the Jeff
Bezos.
No, he's you know what I'm talking about. He's a pastor in Houston.
Jeff Bridges.
No, do you know
Jeff Garcia.
No. Anyway. Thank you, Joel Osteen. I'm over here saying
it's
Jeff.
It's not Jeff at all.
It's Joel Osteen. Sorry. He's kind of like that, except in Atlanta. So we go in there, and it's so crazy. This is like my first experience ever at a big mega church like this, right? and they have like metal detectors, and I'm like, yo, why they have these metal detectors at church? I thought, people just pull up. Why would you? But anyway, I'm not thinking too much. We go in there, bro. We walk in, and like when you go into it, it's kind of like a dome. You just see around you like, holy hell, there's like why are this many people coming to just one church? Didn't understand it. We go in there
bro.
For Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, but you got other churches. But anyway, whatever. If you like your church, you like church. At the time, the girl I was with, she goes, hey, let's go sit towards the front in the middle. And I'm like, oh boy, this is the worst thing. I want to sit in the back. But I'm like, okay, whatever, because I care about you. Let's go. So we go, we sit in the middle. As I'm walking, I'm hearing people talk. They're having conversations because remember, this is on New Year's Eve. And people are talking, and I'm like, yo, it's so crazy. There's like people from all over the country and the world coming to this church because they're all speaking different languages. This is so wild that this dude must have like big influence. So we find two seats to go sit in. And we're sitting there, and as we're walking by, there's this family, and they're just speaking a different language. And I'm like, yo, is there like, this is wow, this is crazy. Cool. We sit down. All of a sudden I'm chilling and I feel kind of awkward because I'm like, well, I'm not into this as much as other people. So I feel kind of outcasted a little bit. Yeah. But and next thing you know, I start seeing people in front of me and then maybe a little bit to like diagonally to me, in front of me and behind me. And they're like doing this rocking thing back and forth and they're speaking a different language. And I'm like, yo, they're really into this. Wow, this is crazy. And then at the time, my girl's like, hey, are you okay? Do you feel comfortable? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's crazy. I didn't know that all these people like from different countries would come just to visit this one church. And she's like, oh, no. They're not speaking in a language. They're speaking in tongues. And I was like, what's that? And then basically...
you didn't know what that was?
I didn't know what that was.
What?
I'd never heard of it. And
really?
Yeah, and so, but I remember inside in my brain, I started laughing a little bit because I didn't understand it. Because to me, it just sounds like... And so, then I remember, because, look, I'm gonna let y'all, give y'all a little insight to how my brain works. If I don't understand something, then I try to analyze it and be like, make this make sense to me.
Right. And
so, it was real interesting. Cause I was like, why y'all speaking in tongues? Cause some of the people in there, I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounded like they were upping it a little bit to try to be like the loudest, or they'd be like, and I was like, yo, this is a thing. And I remember I was just like, whatever, cause I remember the service started and it was I was just like, why is this like nobody's here, nobody's watching you, like. Because to me, it didn't make any sense.
Oh, so they were doing that before the sermon started?
Yeah. There was like people who were literally going like this. They were like... All right,
bro. I think you've done that enough.
Sorry.
Please stop.
Sorry. But they were doing that, bro. And it was so weird to me. And that was like my first time I ever heard something like that. I mean, no disrespect, but it just caught me off guard, like completely.
Right.
Because I'm thinking, oh, wow, they came from out of the country just to come to Atlanta to come for this one service. And... it was really wild, but I say all that to say because later on, church happened, Creflo Dollar came out, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what's the big appeal to this?
What, to the sermon or the environment?
No, like I didn't understand why so many people came to this one church. Like, because I'm like, well, if we're gonna talk about this, like, you can get Jesus anywhere. Like,
well, I guess they think he's a good pastor.
Oh, okay, he probably is a good speaker. Yeah. That's probably what it is. He's good at communicating. Yeah. But afterwards, they were like, they didn't have a big 10, 9, 8.
That's the funniest part of the story to me. Because
they didn't have a ball drop. They were just like, it's New Year's. No, they had like a little performance, and they had like this performance, and I was like, I mean, this is cool, but I kind of want to see a ball drop or something.
Oh, they did something when it hit 12.
Well, I don't know. I didn't check the time because people were like looking at me, and I was like, looking at it like, is it almost over? But there came a moment, they said a prayer, and then I remember they were like, if you want your new year, your next year to be amazing, and you want God to bless you and stuff, like, come up here right now and get baptized. And I was like,
and then you went up front, and then you started speaking in tongues.
No, I did none of that. I was just like, I want no part of this. Thank you. But at the time, the girl I was with, she went up there. But it was so weird. They didn't baptize them there on the stage. They went to another room to get baptized. And then she came out and she was like, I spoke in tongues. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Wow. I was like, that's really cool. You know, I have there's no value there for me, but okay, good for you. So it was a not out here moment because I didn't realize that they were speaking in tongues.
I don't know how to properly joke around with that because
just joke.
I have opinions, but I don't want to voice my opinions.
Well, look, I'm not demeaning them.
Yeah,
To me, it was just funny, the awkwardness.
I think that's important to say.
Yeah, it was very funny. And like, it's kind of like sometimes like I'll laugh. I have this thing in me where like I'll smile or I'll laugh in very awkward situations where sometimes that might not be the best thing to do.
Right.
And so, but I can't help it. That's just how I process it.
You weren't laughing and smiling that night, were you?
I was smiling a little bit because these people, I was just like, it kind of reminds me when I was a kid. You ever seen a kid where they're just like running around and they're like, maybe they're pretending to be like a creature and they're like, yeah. That's what it reminded me of. And I started laughing and I was like, I was like, man, this is so funny to me. But
you know what?
Hey, this is just me. I'm sorry if I offended you, but
I'm not touching that one.
It's okay. It's funny. I said it all. I just find it hilarious, and I think that we should be allowed to joke about any and everything.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but anyway,
that was the greatest New Year's ever.
No, because then afterwards we went somewhere.
Since then, you've gone to church every New Year's.
No, I'm sorry. No,
you haven't been to church since.
Yeah, it actually scared me from church. I was like, this is God. I was like, this is what it is.
You've never gone to church again.
It reminds me of real quick. It reminds me of I didn't realize until my girl told me this of what I thought an angel looked like.
Oh yeah,
in the Bible, and like I showed you. And what's crazy, if you don't know, if you've never read I've never read the Bible. But the way that they describe an angel isn't like what they describe in movies. Like in movies, they're like wearing this angelic white, outfit with wings and a halo or just whatever. And they're very like normal. But like in a book, if you look up images of what an angel looks like from the Bible, bro, it's the scariest shit you'll ever see.
It's definitely weird when you Google image search it.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like Google it right now if you haven't. But
it's like boxes or rings. And eyeballs and
they
wings.
Always, my girl saying, they always say, be not afraid, human. And you're like, when you see like that shit, you're like, yo, I gotta stop doing drugs. You're like, you feel like this isn't for me. But that's my not all here moment.
Dang, bro, how do I follow that up?
I don't know.
All right, so I got two.
Okay.
Wheelchair and spunk.
All right, since last week we didn't do wheelchair, let's do wheelchair.
Finally going with wheelchair.
Yeah, let's see what the wheelchair is about.
That's the better choice.
It's the best way to end the podcast.
This story isn't about me. It's about one of my friends. I don't have permission to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Oh, you just use like pseudonames or something.
I'm not going to say names.
Okay.
So, my friend was on a dating app. Looking for prospective dates.
Yeah.
So then he starts talking to this girl. They arrange a date. So he goes to meet her and he pulls up, he's driving. He pulls up in her yard and I don't know if he calls her, if he messages her or what. And she says, okay, I'm going to roll up. I'll be there in a second. I'm going to roll up on you. And he's like, roll up on me? Is she not here?
Yeah.
Is she going to drive here? So he's looking around. He doesn't see a car pulling in or anything. So he's not paying attention. He's looking at his phone. He's doing whatever. Then he hears a little on the window. And he looks and he sees kind of like this short person. And he's like, well, what's going on here? So he opens the door and she's there in a wheelchair.
Oh boy.
And she didn't inform him of any of this.
Oh.
So it was kind of a surprise. And then at that point, he kind of had to help her get in the car.
Oh, man.
To go on the date. And then there's this wheelchair. I don't know if they put it in the trunk or what they did with it. But it was very... it was a very awkward experience for him. And, not laughing at disabled people here, but... you should inform people.
Just being caught off guard.
I think you should inform people of that before a situation like that.
Probably the first picture should be you posed in the wheelchair,
or either
like
just
all of them,
either just let people know.
Yeah,
but I think him and her just drove around a while.
Oh my god!
They didn't go to the restaurant.
Oh my god!
And then he took her back home, and then
that was it.
So
That's so awkward.
yes,
That's so funny. She literally, she's like, I'm gonna roll up on you.
she said that it was I'm gonna roll up on you, or it was either that or okay, I'm about to roll up. The message had the word roll in it,
Yeah.
and he was like, "What? She's driving? Like she's not here? Where is she?"
Dang, man. And I like, it's like I can only imagine his feeling of like, oh,
But he felt bad.
yeah, of course he felt bad. Of course he
Because
felt bad.
he was like, you know, it's a person.
It's a person.
I should, you know.
I should at least drive around for a little bit.
But then he was like, yo, I feel awkward. This isn't.
Do you know if like after, like when he came back, he was like, listen, I don't want to be rude, but I'm gonna be upfront with you. I don't want to see where this goes.
I don't remember. I don't think he had that kind of conversation.
Oh, gotcha. He
It
was
was just kind of like, okay, bye.
Oh
And never talk to each other again.
man, that's so awkward. Have you like? Well, no, we'll talk about this on another podcast.
What?
But I was gonna say, have you ever had something awkward like that happen on a date? Not like to that level, or even
on a date.
like, or like, let's say, you know, in your days when like you're on Tinder. If you ever, because did you ever go on Tinder or like a dating site?
Yeah, of course.
I've been
I've you know.
Yeah, I've had some like very interesting times. But-
I had a date one time. I thought it was a date. She was just taking me to a pyramid scheme, trying to get me to sign up with. I mean, it technically was a date,
Yeah.
but it was a date where we went to a pyramid scheme event,
That's hilarious.
and then we went out to eat.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I kind of had something
And then
similar.
on the drive back home,
Yeah.
whoever hooked her up to the pyramid scheme, she got him on the phone, and he was on the phone trying to convince me to join the shit. And I was like, all right, man.
That's whack. That's whack.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's whack. I had something like that where when in Arkansas when I was living there, I had this girl, man, and like it was a friend, and I had a crush on her, and then she was like, "You want to go out?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go out." And she kind of did the same thing. She went somewhere, and it was one of those things that as soon as it started, I was like, "Hey, yo, before you go any further, I'm gonna let you right now. I'm not interested." And then I said, I thought she told me we were going out.
She told you that?
Yeah. And then I told, because she took me to a presentation where I was the only person they were presenting to.
Oh, it was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
Yeah. And like, I was like, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want nothing to do with this. I was just here because I was trying to take this lady out. And she said we were going out. And she was like, oh, we were going to do that afterwards. And I was like, well, you didn't tell me that.
So me and you have the exact same story.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so funny. But we're still cool to this day. It's so funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I haven't spoken to her in a while, but it's just interesting. Because I have some other interesting stories, but maybe we'll save that for another podcast. But that was the Not All Here podcast, episode 7. We hope that you guys have a great week. If you would, man, if whatever you listen to us on, like Spotify, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Heart us, give us a 5-star review. Follow us, man. It really helps us to push the podcast to newer audiences and stuff like that. Follow the Instagram, Not All Here podcast on IG. Follow our personal IGs. It's EZL, ITS EZELL.
Yeah, all my stuff is JRB the producer. Also, I just dropped a EP/album/little project. Go check me out. It is Jettison Bombardier. The name of the project is Damaged Parachutes. It's on all the platforms wherever you like to listen to music.
Exactly. And man, we're getting closer to 2021. So hope y'all enjoy the rest of this week. We'll catch y'all on the next episode.
Yeet.
Yo.